Viewers, welcome back to the final part of the March episode of NU series. I hope you enjoyed the national, international, and the first part of trends. Today, we are going to continue with the trends that we shared. I am sure a lot of the businessmen and entrepreneurs will be able to correlate this news to your business and see how you can make this nation stronger. And the whole effort of this NU series has been to collate a lot of the positive news around the country and to present it to you so that you also feel that something positive is happening in the country. So quickly getting into the next positive news is that there has been an 81% year-on-year increase in loans sanctioned to the real estate developers for Q3 ending December 2020. Now, you have to see it on the backdrop of that this has been the record lows with respect to the interest rate for the real estate sector. So the positive about this thing is it has helped in revival of the demand, because home is still a very major basic dream for all the Indians. So having a home is a sense of identity, and therefore today people will be able to afford the houses at a low cost and at a lower EMI cost. On the flip side, we also have to understand that these loans that we have seen, this growth could also be, this 81% growth could also be due to the new loans and also refinance of the old loans, because the interest rates have been lower, so there has been a lot of refinancing of the loan. But either way, 81% year-on-year increase on Q3 is a very positive step, and a lot of the people who are in the construction industry can take some solace. But there is one thing that I would like people to understand, that it is quite possible that we have hit the lowest. We are already at the lowest, home finance rates right now, and there is a good possibility that the rates can actually increase from here, because if you see, the inflation has been going up, and the cost and the government's borrowing program this year is far enlarged because of shortage in tax collection, and also worldwide, US is, there's something called as a tapering of their injection of fund into the economy. So as most of the developed countries are beginning to slow down the infusion of cash into their economy, there's a good possibility that a lot of this free money that is slushed out in the world economy will kind of be withdrawn, and there's a good possibility that the US interest rate hardens. So whenever there's a US interest rate hardens, a lot of the money that are in developing countries go back to US, because it's still the major currency of the world and it's still the major economy of the world, and therefore it's quite possible that the home loans rates actually strengthen from here. So the good news is it's at the lowest level, but the word of caution is just possible, quickly conclude all your home loans, because there's a reasonable possibility that the home loans strengthen from here. And you also have to remember, one of the reasons why the interest rates could go up is because there's been a lot of private sector capacity exchanges planned, which means they are going to compete for the money that is available on the table, and therefore people who are looking at home loans try to finish it off faster. The second very interesting development is government has amended the Insurance Ombudsman Rule 2017. So it has enlarged the scope of complaints to ombudsman from just disputes to also include deficiency in service on part of insurers, agents, brokers, and other intermediaries. Now, very importantly, why is this news significant is because now policyholders will now be able to make complaints electronically to the ombudsman and also monitor it through the online complaint management system. And the ombudsman can use video conferencing as a tool for hearing. Now watch this is very significant, because one of the challenges the Indian system we have been having is the judiciary. The judiciary has been constrained by the need of physical presence of both the the defendant, the petitioner, the lawyers, the judges. So we can actually see a trend evolving now, because if insurance ombudsman is going to conduct video conferencing sessions, there's a very good possibility that the number of cases conducted could increase. Initially it will be slow, it will have its own adaptation pangs, but there's a good possibility the case disposals can increase, and because the lawyers will not have to travel to different courts, and so they will be able to conduct their hearings right sitting in their room. But more significantly, there's a very good possibility that Indian judiciary also starts taking a leaf out of it and really starts aggressively conducting their own courts using digitally. So One of the things that I would really like the entrepreneurs to sit and think is that if the Indian governments can do and do this, that is to adapt the latest technology to improve their services to the citizens, are we as businessmen actually using video conferencing as a tool to improve the efficiency of our business? Are we using video conferencing as a tool to provide training to our staff? Are we using video conferencing as a tool to reach out our customers and to have a face-to-face conversation with him and prevent him from coming to your office, save his fuel and save your time? So I think this is a huge nudge for a lot of the private businessmen and entrepreneurs to see if you can use these cutting-edge technologies to reduce your cost and increase the experience for your customer. So we are already seeing a trend where a lot of where a lot of training is getting into online mode. I would seriously prod a lot of the entrepreneurs to please use this as a tool to improve your business and reduce the cost for your operation. The second thing is SpiceJet is offering coronavirus screening to passengers for as little as 299 rupees. Now, COVID has done something wonderful. There have been businesses which have been fleet-footed and done nothing and just blamed COVID and not acted. And there have been companies like SpiceJet and Australia, Qantas in Australia and AirAsia in Malaysia, which have stopped complaining about the situation and started responding to the challenge that they have. Just like SpiceJet, Qantas, has started renting out its Boeing Dreamliners for sightseeing trips over Antarctica. So Australia is very close to Antarctica, and so it has started allowing these Boeing Dreamliners to be chartered and also to offer a Antarctica trip to its passengers. And it has also started selling a lot of items including pajamas in their aisle of the aircraft when taking people for this tour. So I think the situation is the same for people. And similarly AirAsia, if you look at it, is started something like an Amazon style platform for selling fruits and vegetables while passengers are traveling. So people in hospitality industry have to really rethink on where they are, because the situation has been the same for people, but good businesses have not sat back and complained. They have used this as an opportunity to find new revenue streams for themselves. So entrepreneurs, I think, just sit back and not just sit back and relax, but just stay alert and see if you can use this as an opportunity to either strengthen your the training in your office or to offer new bring in new offerings to your customer. Another important trend that's coming up is Bharat Forge actually inks a pact with Paramount Group, which is an aerospace technology group, and this inking of arrangement with this Paramount Group has been to manufacture armored vehicles for the country. So if you see, the Heavy Vehicles Factory and BEML have been just these two companies which have been in this zone. But this private sector entry into it is a very important trend in the country, because worldwide it's been the private sector companies along collaborating with their own national government, which has been huge defense manufacturers. So this armored vehicle that Bharat Forge is making is going to have a ballistic and blast protection of up to 50 kg of TNT inside blast and IED bombs. So this is designed to protect people inside the armored carrier to protect them from an impact of even a 50 kg TNT. So armored carriers basically carry troops to different to the forward locations, and they are fortified with strong steel. So what, as we told even in the previous part, this is a very clear sign that there's a significant amount of scope in defense ancillary business. So people who are in auto ancillary businesses, you have to be aware that the opportunities for auto ancillaries will considerably shrink when the world moves away from internal combustion engine to electric vehicles. So the number of moving parts are going to come down, which means if you are in auto ancillary industry, the possibility or the request for quantity material for the materials that you manufacture is going to come down. So defense ancillary is a very viable, profitable expansion possibility for people in auto ancillaries. So this is this is exactly replicating the successful model that Europe and US has created. So defense ancillary has become a huge industry there, and I would request the entrepreneurs who are in auto ancillaries to wake up and look up at the new opportunity. The third significant development is State Bank of India ties up with JP Morgan to use their blockchain technology to speed up the overseas transactions. Now, this is significantly going to reduce the SBI customers' transaction time and cost. So, this will using blockchain technology will significantly reduce the risk related to inter-border transactions or cross-border transactions. So it will also reduce the time and therefore significantly improve the ease of doing business. So are we as entrepreneurs looking to use blockchain technology, at least people in the financial industry and industry where you need a trace to be established for the transaction? Are we using blockchain technology to improve our business? Now, why am I saying this? Big behemoths, big companies which are usually slow in decision making have started making an effort to embrace cutting edge technology to improve their customer experience. So a lot of our entrepreneurs will have to really use these opportunities and see to that their business stays ahead of the curve. And another final thing which is of very great importance with respect to trend is RailTel has, which is a government of India or a railway department subsidiary, railway ministry subsidiary, RailTel has launched prepaid Wi-Fi services in 4,000 railway stations. Now, a passenger can now use up to 30 minutes of free Wi-Fi per day or at 1 Mbps speed, and beyond that, the RailTel will be offering speeds up to 34 Mbps per user, and the customer will be able to choose different plans and use these services both at railway stations and maybe even while traveling. Now, what is this going to do? That a lot of your purchases are going to happen during travel and not when they are at home. So, a lot of your OTT or content consumption or anything with respect to news, entertainment, and purchases, retail purchases are all going to happen during travel. So this is another very important understanding that entrepreneurs will have to bring in and see to that their systems are robust and good enough to capture the business of people while they're traveling, which means even where you need to advertise to capture the a person who is ordering will have to go through a change. Maybe instead of TV ads, it could be strategically located billboards or an onboard entertainment system in your railway coaches, reminding people to buy their groceries online when they're traveling. So there's a lot of opportunities that's coming up the entrepreneur's way, but the key is to watch the trend, come to conclusions, and quickly implement these things for you to stay ahead of the curve. Viewers, thank you so much for all the support that you have been extending us all through. We hope that these trends that we have submitted to you offer some value to you. It offers some insights into what's happening around the world and probably help you to redefine and reshape your business and make our country stronger by actually for you to become profitable and provide employment to a lot of people. So that's been the objective of the ANU series, is to present you all with a lot of the positive news, trends and events that are happening around the country and which could be beneficial to us as a country. Thank you so much. Stay healthy, stay connected, and take very good care of your health. Thank you so much.